reached at the residence of former Federal Minister for Minorities Affairs in Islamabad. He himself received and welcomed us. The minister's house was decorated with different protesting slogans. We were served with breakfast of traditional pickle, chutney, and parathi. The house has cage, cross, pictures of American parliaments, and slogans against Beirut bombing. It seems like a protesting place more than a residential place. Why is it so?
Well, this is a symbolic message for awareness. If we observe the living of people who make exclamations in rallies or say big dialogues in TV shows, it is great movement. And if we may or may not follow them, but we do acknowledge their efforts and struggles. Mao Zedong, Lenin, Quaid-e-Azam and Gandhiji are the great examples of leadership. All the great movements we have seen were focused on the practicality of life. We, unfortunately, are great leaders, but our practical lives and living standards do not depict that we are leaders. Because there should be a difference between a leader and a common man. What is the difference here among landlords, investors, and common people? I believe that there should be a difference in the living of leaders. It should be symbolic and give the message to the followers that they're concerned about our well-beings.
Well, you started your political career in Lahore, then moved to Karachi, but now living in Islamabad. Does it mean that you want close relationship with embassies and government bodies while living in the capital city?
First of all, Pakistan ka Malik, J. Salik, the owner of Pakistan. If you believe that the reason is to stay close to parliaments, then I would have never left Parliament and went barefoot back to Lahore. I believe in getting close to humans, not with parliaments. Here in capital city, there are more opportunities in the form of United Nations and international media who can transmit our painful and hurting voice to the world. Therefore, I believe it is easy for us here.
You live in the posh area of the capital city and you have no particular employment. Then what's the source of income?
There are many people within Pakistan and out of Pakistan who have invested billions on me with love just to create awareness and bring peace. I do not think that this is an expensive area. I'm living here for the last 13 years and pay normal rent. People come here easily with respect and dignity. In fact, you'll be glad to know that people who love me and live in America and Canada are pure Pakistanis. There is no investment on me by any agency, and I do not need it even. Therefore, I think I'm pure Pakistani who has no investment by any agency.
Well, tell us something about your family. Didn't they support your politics? I heard they moved to America.
Well, for your information, my children do not live in America. In fact, it's the other people's children who live in America. My son lived here in Pakistan and graduated in first division from Karachi. He is married and has a son. The day assemblies were dissolved, he said to me, "Father, you have raised your voice against many issues in assembly. And now you will get arrested." I explained to my son that we didn't do robbery. I explained to my son that look, we didn't do robbery, didn't take loan, didn't get alcohol permit. Then why would I get arrested? Nobody can arrest us, as we have done nothing wrong. When assemblies were dissolved in the year 1997, my son got employed at a pizza restaurant and used to work for 12 hours per day.
Some of your opponents call all your protest methods a drama, like hanging on cross, staying in cage, and a grave. How near are these methods to the reality?
Mr. Suhail, you have explained it really well that it is drama. Drama is a Greek word and it means expressions. And practically show whatever you say. Drama means practical, and they've got it well. Jay Salik shows whatever he says. Bad people perceive me bad, and good people good. It depends on their capacity of understanding. Is it drama that I never bought a plot? Is it a drama that I refused to get votes 2 times which were on sale against 2 crores? There is no burglary, no corruption, and no loans. It is true that I want to organize and uplift the minorities of the world. I want to build a peace university of minorities and majorities. Right now, there are 4 million Muslims in UK, and I want to make them stable and organize Muslims in America too. We want to make a world minority parliament because United Nations only represents majorities.
We visited the constitutional office within the house. And met people who came from different areas. He briefed us the reality of different protest writings and slogans installed in the lawn area. And then we left the house. Well, Mr. Salik, hope the journey from lavish minister's car to a broken taxi doesn't hurt.
Well, Mr. Suhail, these broken cars do not matter to me. The whole nation is broken, and I am also living a normal life. Even when I was a minister, my life was normal, and I used to sit in taxi with great interest. I do not feel that I am no more a minister.
When you protest by thinking that you're doing it to bring others out of grievances and pains, then you do not feel any kind of pain or hurt.
When you protest by thinking that you're doing it to bring others out of grievances and pains, then you do not feel any kind of pain. But when I think as a human being, I do feel. I still remember one of my protests when I was hanging on the cross, collected all the belongings of my house and burnt them on Mall Road. When the government was behaving insensitive and I wanted to convey my message to the parliament, I was MNA at that time, collected all the ash and started putting it on my head in front of Provincial Assembly. The ash had particles of TV and plastic that went into my eyes. It was very painful for me. Very painful.
You've gone through the moments of pain, protest, and hurt in your life. Were there happy moments too?
Well, you see, when we three, me, my wife and son, came back and gave message of the children of Bosnia, if you cannot do anything for us, then send us coal or broken slippers of plastic. That made me so happy that I've done something good that worth. We all went so that in case if anything wrong happens, then happens to all of us, leaving no one behind to cry, because my whole family lives in America. But when we conveyed the message of Bosnia's children, it was enough to shake the global conscience. Thank God we came back safely. We spent some time with the patients of anti-narcotics hospital. Children's exclamations, Jay Salik, Yasu Malik, Jay Salik, Jesus is the owner, Pakistan is ours. We met people living in slum area of Islamabad and offered prayer.
Mr. Salik, what is the major issue of slum area?
The major issue is that they have been provided with land ownership rights for the last 10 years, but developmental work has not been started yet. Another big issue is electricity. If there will be no electricity, then there will be viciousness. I do go to these small town areas and know their circumstances. No bureaucrat comes here. No one is ready to visit them. Who comes in small streets?
We stopped on the way to have pan. And went to another slum area. Why have you brought us in this dirty stream area?
You see, Suhail Saab, there was no boundary wall around this dirty stream, and this caused many accidents. 4 children have been drowned and have died. The last kid's name was Faisal, who lost his life. I did protest for 28 days, and still there were no boundary wall actions. I burnt my belongings, and no one heard. I brought a boat here from Rawal Dam and lived in it. Then finally Deputy Commissioner came here and passed orders for a boundary wall. By the grace of God, there are no accidents after it. We met people of his community, read the Bible, and offered prayer.
You started off as a counselor, became MNA for several times, got the designation of federal minister, and then got defeated. Is it the case that you have lost the trust of your Christian community?
By the grace of God, there is nothing like this. I never got defeated in the history of Pakistan. You know it very well that there was so much corruption and manipulation of results in the elections of 97. The Guardian government of that time, Mr. Malik Miraj, came to me and offered me to join them, but I refused. He said, "We are the ones who will conduct elections." I think they were not elections. The same fraud occurred in the elections of the year 88. I took oath after going to High Court for 19 months. I went to Assembly for half an hour and it got dissolved.
You tried so hard for the nomination of Nobel Prize for Peace. What was your purpose behind this?
Well, Mr. Suhail, getting or not getting Nobel Prize does not matter for me. What matters is that I got nominated by 16 crore population. So, I'm the living example for Christian-Muslim solidarity in Pakistan. Nobody has hired me. If I will need to win a prize, it will come to me. I will not go after it.
Well, Mr. Salik, you got self-admiration and popularity by your new and attention-seeking methods of protest. Did they help you in resolving any issue too?
I think to resolve any problem, it is necessary to identify it first. And I identified many problems. I think whatever problems I highlighted and protested against got resolved by the grace of God.
As a federal minister, your performance was just like other landlord ministers. What was the difference?
I ended the protocol of ministry. I tried to get involved in people like a normal person to reduce the vacuum between common people and ministers.
Okay, your community has a great complaint that our girls are getting converted and marrying Muslims, which is problematic. Do you think there is any solution for this?
Well, Mr. Suhail, according to Islam and law, there is a specific time period called iddat, which should be observed when a married woman changes her religion. Spiritual leaders should take stand for this, to enforce this. This has become a major social issue. If a man or a woman who is already married and change his or her religion to get married without observing iddat time period, it is illegal according to Islam and law.
You must have admired or loved some movie.
Mr. Suhail, I will only admire the movie in which all the political parties will actually implement their charter mandate. I think we all are waiting for such movie and reality.
Any favorite movie actress?
All the parliament members who will be filming such movie.
Do you like any sport?
I only love the sport I play, and that is peace against the brutality and violence happening around us.
Don't you like cricket or hockey?
I think for the people like us who are already facing oppression, such sports are wastage of time. There should be sports which are helpful to uplift the society.